The 2023 Inglis Australian Easter Yearling Sale drew together the best quality yearlings, the world's biggest buyers and elite vendors, providing some great theatre here at Riverside in Sydney. Let's recap some of the highlights. Well, Sebastian, congratulations. What an incredible Inglis Easter 2023. I guess, there's a feeling of relief, of satisfaction as well. Your entire team has done such a great job for the vendors and, of course, the buyers.
Yeah, I mean, we were excited about the quality of horse we had to offer at the sale, but at the same time, you approach the sale with a degree of trepidation just because of circumstances. Don't really quite know what to expect. Feedback in advance, the sale was excellent in terms of people wanting to participate, but really you don't know until the first horse walks into the ring as to how things are going to go, but it's played out probably well above and beyond what our expectations were in advance of the sale, and it's very satisfying to sit here now and have the results that we do. Have so many happy people going home from the sale. I mean, it's not a record-breaking sale by any stretch of the imagination, but just under the circumstances, it feels like a sale that everybody's very, very pleased with.
And you've been very careful through the entire sale season to keep a bit of a lid on expectation. Obviously, the interesting, difficult financial times for some people, but to be able to have $26 million lots and the stats, the clearance rate as well. I guess that was sort of the fear that there aren't enough buyers around. But I tell you what, the buying bench was so interesting, wasn't it? Spread over so many different individuals and groups.
I mean, I'd like to be able to say it's all the work that we do to get buyers to the sale, but it's just the profile of the sale attracts people. It's a sale that people want to be involved in because people know that the horses that are here are going to be the best yearlings they see all year. They know that those horses are those that are most likely to go on and win good races, and ultimately anybody who's here trying to buy a horse is buying a horse they think can go and be a good racehorse or want to be a good racehorse. And this sale just has an extraordinary reputation, not just domestically but internationally, as a source of elite racehorses, and that attracts people. It's an iconic sale from the point of view of people wanting to sell at, people wanting to buy from, and that makes a massive contribution to being able to run a successful sale, and certainly that's the way it's played out this year.
But the Queen sells for $1.8 million.
Late on day two, the thrilling scenes of Silverdale Farm selling their stunning The Autumn Sun half-sister in the Congo for $1.8 million to Arrowfield. So really great for a young stallion. But a pinhook, a $600,000 I believe the first time, according to Steve Grant, a pinhook has topped the sale as well. And, as Steve was saying, it needs to be 3 times that to be a good pinhook. He got that, $1.8 million. Incredible scenes.
She's 3/4 sister to a very good horse and in the Congo. I didn't realise until I read all the marketing material that in the Congo it's the fastest ever winner of the Golden Rose. She was a proper horse. She's a beautiful filly, and I think people attach a huge amount of significance to the Silverdale draft now. In a short space of time, it's established itself as a very, very significant operator in the Australian thoroughbred marketplace, and that's credit to Steve and Eliza Grant. I think it's very flattering to a filly to come to a sale like Easter and have the farm that's perennially the leading vendor at the sale buy her. I think it's a great testament to the regard in which she was held by people who know the progeny of the Autumn Sun better than anybody, and I don't think it'll be any surprise to anyone if she goes on to become a top-class race filly.
At $1,750,000, I sell done. $1,750,000. Thank you very much.
And of course, a Piero half-sister learning to fly from Coolmore, going to Michael Wallace and Kuldeep Singh, a new buyer. Great to see, $1.75 million. But new blood, really passionate and interested in the industry. That's just an outstanding result.
Well, I think Kuldeep has certainly been one of the most significant new investors in the international thoroughbred industry in the last 3-4 years. He previously dipped his toe in the market in Australia, but he's dived right in now, acquiring quality stock, and that's a pretty special filly. I mean, it's a lot of money, 1.75 million, but if she ends up being as good a race filly as what she's bred to be, it'll represent a bargain. She's a sibling to a top-class filly. It's a family that's synonymous with, high-class fillies in particular, and hopefully she's a lucky filly for for the connection.
1,600,000, the bid out the back, make no mistake, he shakes his head at 1,600,000. You're sure everyone by selling out the back for the sake of 50 at 1.6, I sell. One more wide. Thank you very much, Dean. Jonathan, you're under there as well.
And of course, late in day two, we saw great scenes for the Lime Country team. $1.6 million schnitzel colt from Ultimate Fever. And, you know, as Joe said, thank God for Coolmore. She was so pleased to get some great results. They sold $3 million lots. Of course, the dam had already done the job with schnitzel. But for Joe and Greg Griffin and their incredible clients, this is just a wonderful result.
We worked exceptionally hard to establish, you know, a very successful farm and a very significant brand in a short space of time. I mean, huge credit to Greg and Joe. It's not an easy thing to do. You know, everybody wants to be here on days like today with high-priced yearlings, but it's a significant responsibility, so it's not something that anybody can do. And the fact that they've turned up at a sale like this with a small draft and churned out 3 yearlings to make over $1 million is really quite a testament to the work that they've done, the structure that they've put in place on their farm, the staff that they've got, and you know, I think it's a platform on which a farm like Lime Country can continue to build.
1,550,000. Would you like to come back in, sir? At 1,550,000, I sell him. Last chance. Done. At 1,550,000, thank you, Brittany. Kiora by 1,550,000, thank you very much for the competition. A lovely goal. Very best of luck with you.
Well, New Haven Park, of course, they've had a great time lately with Maria Mir winning the Galaxy and Arts, winning the Adrian Knox, and they sold a $1.55 million I'm Invincible English colt to Tony Fung, Kiora starred Gay Waterhouse, and great to see Gay get the son of her great mare who raced in those New Haven colours.
I think when you consider iconic Australian farms, you know, there's Widden and New Haven. I mean, the Kelly family are synonymous with top-class Australian thoroughbreds. Went to that farm last August to have a look at the yearlings, and John Kelly said, we're going to give you a special yearling to sell, the I'm Invincible colt out of English, and it was exciting then, and to see him mature into this beautiful yearling that he did here on the complex, it was very exciting, and then to have it rewarded in the sale ring is very satisfying. I mean, you're given opportunities like this by vendors like that, and creates a degree of pressure, a degree of expectation, but you know, the horses ultimately make it easy for us, and it was great to be able to deliver a good result. Gay has obviously had incredible success with that filly. You know, English was just brilliant. I mean, probably unlucky to bump into Chautauqua at Randwick a couple of times, denied her further big race success, but if that horse is half as good as his mother, well, he'll be a special racehorse.
Indeed, and the other buy, I mean, you know, we're looking at, you know, Coolmore buying selectively, and James Harron, of course, also with the brother to Russian Revolution. Yulong, Yusheng Zhang and Sam Fairgray, they had a massive sale. I mean, you know, they had so many of these yearlings that they were buying. And it's really quite interesting, isn't it, too, you know, buying written tycoons, obviously they want to support the stallion as well, but it's a really fascinating sort of model. You know, some of those horses will go to, you know, the fillies in particular will go to their other stallions too, but a great way to support written tycoon by those horses going to the best stables.
$1 million for the medal. $1 million. You struggle to find a better written tycoon. At $1 million. At $1 million. At $1 million, I cash him out. At $1 million, he goes 1.50. 1.1. 1.10. At 1.4 million he goes forever. The hammer's up, all done for 1.4 million. You are boys, 1.4, thank you team, outstanding talent.
Look, I think Mr. Zhang is taking the approach that most people would like to try and take to their racing and breeding enterprise, and that's acquiring quality and accumulating quality. They've taken a fairly consistent approach doing that over the years. This is the biggest, certainly the biggest imprint they've made in our yearling marketplace. He bought some beautiful yearlings, colts and fillies. You've got a fantastic operation, a beautiful farm in the Gambia, and you know, hopefully his investment continues to reap dividends over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I think anybody who's anything to do with Mr. Zhang recognises the passion that he has for the sport and for his business. He knows everything about every horse he has. He knows all about the stallions. He's very much not just financially invested in it, but emotionally invested in it. And I think that's I think that's exciting for our sport, to have people who are so passionate, not just about the business, but the sport itself. And you know, you'd like to see guys like him well rewarded, and deservedly so.
1.1 of all the news outlets. 1.1. 1.15, how can you do it? 1.3 million, he goes. Last time, hammers up, all done. Be quick, but he goes for 1.3 million. Yearling buys, thank you Mr. John, thank you Sam. Yearling buys 1.3.
Leading into this sale, we had lovely young stallions, but you know, the proven size, we're talking about I Am Invincible topping the aggregate ahead of Schnitzel, Written Tycoon. You know, they're the champion sires of the past 6 or so years, Zoostar, Piero and the Autumn Sun. But the proven sires, this is just an outstanding sale to buy these proven sires.
Yeah, well, ultimately, we're very lucky to be supported by vendors with quality progeny of these stallions, you know, whether it's I'm Invincible, Schnitzel, Written Tycoon, Zoostar, Fast and Brock. To have those supplemented by fantastic yearlings by some of the younger, more progressive stallions, whether it's the Autumn Sun, Justified, Trapeze Artists, the first crop horses, you know, we're trying to marry together a series of yearlings with different profiles into a catalogue that we think can appeal to as broad a cross-section as possible. You know, I'd like to think, judging by the results, it's come together really well.
And the leading vendors, of course, Arrowfield, the leading vendor again at Inglis Easter. No surprise, of course, presenting 68 beautiful yearlings for sale, but that takes some effort, obviously, to do that by the entire Arrowfield team, and Whidden and Coolmore, Yarraman Vinery, Sedgenhoe, Newgate, Lime Country, you know, all from the Hunter Valley, the top farms as well. So it is still the, you know, Australia's premium producer of yearlings for Inglis Easter and onto the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think a lot of the vendors go home from the sale very happy with the outcome of the sale. I mean, it's a competitive marketplace, but I feel a very fair one. And, you know, testament to those big farms that bring large numbers here and their capacity to service the buyers effectively, prepare those yearlings well. I mean, Arrowfield do an extraordinary job. It's a wonderful nursery, right the way through Whidden, Coolmore, Sedgenhoe, Yarraman, Kiora, and then the series of interstate and international vendors with good New Zealand representation of the sale this year. I think they go home very pleased with the sale. And ultimately, we want to try and create an environment that, you know, appeals to a broad cross-section of vendors. You know, we want to sustain a well-diversified catalogue year after year, because we feel that's what appeals the most to buyers, and I think the result of the sale this year puts us on a good footing as we look forward to 2024.
The G1 Goldmine analysis of the top seller at the 2023 Inglis Easter Yearling Sale shows this match is rated as excellent. The distance profile, which groups all stakes winner pedigrees that are considered closely related to lot 440, shows this filly is built for speed, with clear success at 1200 metres across all age groups. The Redute's Choice VAR Cross is clearly the standout, with 15% Group 1 winners to runners, including Master Archie in the Congo and I'm Thunderstruck. This cross is working 20 times better than expected by the algorithm.